All right, thank you, Woody, and welcome to WJLX Sports Walker County Media Days here on 101.5. You can also follow us on Facebook and YouTube, the WJLX feeds, if you want to watch us in person. We are here at Los Reyes in downtown Jasper. I'd love for you to come by, grab a quesadilla, hang out with us as we are about to go live with all of the Walker County teams in the area, starting with Oakman Wildcats here in just a moment. I am Nick Norris, and with me, Brian Hill, James Phillips. Guys, how you doing today?
Man, it's a great day for media days. I always love to start off the football season this way.
Yeah, doing great, Nick. I'm glad that we could all get together again here for Media Day. It's such a fun annual event, and we get to highlight student athletes from across our area, get to hear from the coaches for the first time. I mean, this officially kicks off football season for Walker County, and I'm really excited. I think this season we've got a lot of teams that are kind of making that next step, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is my first media days. I know you guys are veterans here. I'm excited to get to talk to the coaches and players, meet all these guys, and we got our schedule here in front of us. I'm going to go through some of the first games we can expect here on August 21st, a couple on the 22nd. Jasper Vikings going to take on Brookwood on the 22nd. Carbon Hill is going to face off against Curry.
Their rivalry.
21st. Fun rivalry to start the season there. Cordova, Oakman on the 21st.
Another rivalry game.
That's right. I'm excited for that one. Curry, Yellow Jackets taking on Carbon Hill, like we had said. Dora Bulldogs facing off against Minor on the 22nd.
That's kind of close. That's kind of rival neighborhoods, right?
Yeah,
there.
I mean, that's only about 6 miles.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to want to beat each other for sure.
Yeah. And Summoning Christian facing off against Victory Christian to start the season. Those are all on either the 21st or the 22nd, Thursday or Friday, depending where you're at. But, man, I cannot wait. And hopefully we can get to some of those Thursday games if we're working those Friday ones or vice versa.
Well, guys, if you take a look at that, that's not a ho-hum way to start off the season. That's great rivalry games to start off with. And plus, you always love the first part of the season, the expectations. There's nothing negative that you're coming in with. It's all there, ready to prove.
And, hey, Nick, we got to be sure to highlight, too, what you're reading off of is the Walker County football poster that WJLX just put out yesterday. You can start getting those now. We've got them here today, so if you come by Los Reyes, come by and pick a schedule up. It's got all the high school football schedules on it, and be sure to check out all the advertisers that are on the top of it as well and on the bottom.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done it without them, so it's a good, very nice product that we just put out and can't wait for people to see and get their hands on.
Yeah, it's sharp, too. All my fellow teachers get them for your classroom and get them for your fridge. This is nice. If your team's away and you don't want to travel very far, you got all your options right there. Go support another local team. I'm for that. Well, all right, we're about to get started here in just a moment. Brian?
Well, we are going to take it back to Woody at the studio for a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the Oakman Wildcats here on WJLX Media Days presents Walker County Football.
Welcome back to WJLX Football Walker County Media Day here at Los Reyes live. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, watch our stream on our pages, and we are starting out introducing the Oakman Wildcats here with Coach Ben Panzer. Coach, can you introduce your players today for us?
Oh, yes, sir. I got with me Tyler Thomas, our running back, senior running back, and then Braden McCleany. He's a senior guard for us. So these guys are Tyler's been with us since the 8th grade, and Braden, he's been with us since the 9th grade, so they've got a lot of time on the field.
All right, we've got a couple veterans here with you today. We're going to open it up to our panel for some questions. And guys, feel free, give as long answers as you'd like, and we'll be happy to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
This is for all of you guys. The transition period in between Coach Hall and Coach Pander, how easy was it? Has it just been you already know the routine, so just adapt to him being in the head position? Has it been that easy?
I mean, Coach Painter, he was here with Coach Hall, so we've had experience with Coach Painter. It was different for him moving up from defensive coordinator to head coach, but, we still have the same mentality. We're just there to work, go hard, and show up every day.
Yeah, he holds us to a good standard every day. He makes sure we work hard no matter what, that we stay locked in, and we always put in the work every day.
Yeah, for me, I guess it is different being defensive coordinator, but transitioning from that to the head coach, a lot more on the plate on both sides of the ball. So I've been, I've had to really lock in on some things for myself, which as far as be offensively, defensively, I'm more of a defensive guy, and so I've really had to focus on offensive football a little bit more to get equipped to that, so I could be we could kind of flow on both sides of the football. So it's been a good transition for me. It's helped me to kind of be the leader, obviously, but it's helped me also to kind of see the different light on both sides of the football.
Coach, tell us about your staff, because we know from a coach's standpoint, behind every good coach is a good staff that helps make the team be so good. So tell us about who all's going to be coaching with you this year.
Yes, sir. We've got a good staff. Most of our staff has stayed with us that we've had under Coach Hall. So Jace Trotter will be our offensive coordinator. He's done a really good job. Jace is a very technical guy, and so and knows offensive football, and so I'm really thankful that he stayed on with us. Jeff Ward has been with us for probably 6 years. Jeff in the past has done our special teams. He's been over the special teams coordinator and done a phenomenal job with that. This year he's going to take a little different role. He's going to be probably calling the defensive more, because he was our secondary coach as well. He's done a really good job. Jack Spradlin, he has been with us for a couple of years, and Jack has kicked in school and was a really good kicker. I'm proud of Jack and the way he's come on. He's going to help us on the offensive side of the ball, probably with wide receivers, and he's also going to probably take over more of our special teams. That's kind of down his alley, and so I'm excited for him to take over that position. Braxton Whitlow is another one we've added to the staff last year. He came across from Dora. Braxton is going to coach our offensive line, and they're going to help Coach Trotter, and a good offensive mind. So proud to have Braxton with us as well. And then we have a host of volunteers. Coach Sowell, Stephen Sowell, Coach Crow, Victor Crow is another one, and Major Langley. They are volunteers, and they do a good job of helping us out with different aspects of the football team, getting things going in order and keeping us running. And then they help us in their spaces on offense and defense. And then Coach Duke, he's helped us in the past, and he's going to come back and help us on Friday nights and help us with the D-line. So proud to have that staff, and proud of those guys and what they do for us.
Coach, I know last season y'all really kind of struggled in the second half. Schedule was really tough, and it kind of seemed like a story of two different teams last year. How do you bounce back from that struggle, and also just talk about your region and talk about the schedule, because it remains a really tough schedule this year for you guys.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. To answer the question first, it was a tale of two halves last year. And, you know, in 3A football, you're an injury, 2 injuries away from you're going from really good to really bad. And we got in that situation last year. We got mid-season stride. We were kind of making some good strides, and then we had a major injury. Tyler was one of those injuries that happened last year, and when that happened, that was our starting running back, and we didn't bounce back very good from that, and I think we struggled with the injury factor on kind of finishing the year strong, and so that was one reason. Our region, oh man, it's tough. I mean, we what I call murder's row. We get to about Gordo, Winfield back to back, and we play them guys back to back, and you know the Gordos and the Winfields of our region are they're good every year. Solid football teams, well coached football teams, and then besides from those teams, we have Midfield and Vinemont that we pick back up, and Phil Campbell, Carbon Hill is in that region, and those guys are just hard-nosed football teams that we've got to go, and it's hard-nosed football. It's back in the trenches. So I feel like that we're going to have to play our same style of football, but I think that we've got to take one foot in front of the other each week, and we've got to focus on one game at a time, one play at a time, one snap at a time, and then just pray that we don't get a lot of injuries along the way, because that really hamstrings us.
Well, Coach, let's just talk about some of the guys. Obviously, you brought 2 of your leaders, but let's talk about some positional leaders that you guys can really count on to step up and make impacts this year.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as offensively goes, we've got Christopher Shepard. He's a young guy for us, and he's going to be a wingback for us. I think he's going to be really good in our offense. I think he's going to play defense for us a little bit too. Really good athlete, and he's a good up-and-comer. I'm proud of him. As far as seniors go, though, we've got 6 seniors on our group that's coming back. They're veterans players. We have, of course, Tyler and Braden, and then we have Caden Aaron. He was our quarterback last year. He'll be back with us this year, and he's going to play some different roles for us this year. Also, we got T.J. Rogers, a lineman, and Brady Jones. They were both linemen. They're going to be returning for us this year. Love those guys. They've had a great year in the weight room, and they've really come on in the weight room. So they've gotten bigger, faster, and stronger, and that's going to pay off big dividends for us, I feel like, up front, because that's where it kind of starts. And as far as defense goes, I think we've got a young guy, sophomore Ledger Martin will be our starting probably our linebacker. Really good player, defensive-minded kid, hard-nosed kid, and I'm proud of Ledger. He's kind of stepped into Trace Cagle's role. Trace Cagle graduated this year. He's going to be a big loss for us, but Ledger got to play alongside Trace, and he's learned some things, and so I'm proud of the way he's kind of stepped into that Mike linebacker role and kind of taken over the leadership of the team in that aspect.
And then that's got to be Logan Martin.
That's Logan Berger. That's Logan's brother.
That says a lot.
Logan Martin was
says a lot.
He was a good one.
Guys, you two are veterans here now, you said, and you've been here with the program for a while. What are some things different about this year's offseason that you've noticed that you think will make you a stronger team as compared to maybe other seasons?
I mean, one, and this is the biggest one, is the weight room. I mean, we do things way differently now. Like, we go off percentages now so we can lift more weight and build more muscle to be stronger against opponents. So when we face the Gordos and the Winfield, we won't be as weak anymore, so we'll be stronger to face those opponents.
And I think we're a lot better conditioned, and that when we're in the weight room, we hold each other like very accountable with our group. We've had to get better with that, and I think that we definitely have, and it will transfer onto the field, I believe.
Yeah. Well, Coach said you guys are a couple of the leaders on the team. I know that can be difficult sometimes to motivate yourself as a leader. Sometimes you don't get to rely on others as much. What are some ways that you guys have found to motivate yourselves individually?
I mean, really, it's just doing the right thing. Like, when you're doing the right thing, other people see it, and it encourages them to do the right thing. So we see other people doing the right thing because they're following you. But
Yeah, and I think that seeing other people on your team alter, it makes me want to lead them more, and it makes me want to step up and be better for them, and to encourage them to do better than what they are.
So this is for all three of you. Starting off the year, county rival, going to be playing Cordova. What do you tell the fans to be able to kind of help get them excited to where they want to be able to come and watch the game? What's your thoughts about starting off with a county rival?
I mean, it's Cordova. I mean, it's always a big game. I mean, we've been playing them years from now. I mean, it's a rivalry. Everybody's going to be there. I mean, you just got to come out, compete, do what we do best, win.
It's going to be a big competition game. It's going to be really fun to watch, I think, and I think it's going to be very, very even. I think that we may be bigger, and I think that the weight room has definitely played a count in that, and I think that we have a lot more experience on our line than we did last year, so I think it'll go different.
Football is built on rivalries, and that's what I love about this game, competition, and that one is fun for us. We get to go out and we get to compete against our crosstown rivals, and that's a fun thing for our kids. And those stands will be packed. It's a great atmosphere, and we just like to get out there and get to compete against the guys we get to see every day. It's fun. It makes me smile just thinking about it right now. Just the joy of that, and there's nothing like Friday night football lights. Under the lights on Friday night is amazing, and that's one of those games that are amazing. It's the fans get into it, the school gets into it, there's spirit everywhere, and we're going to take it as one game at a time. But that's a fun game that we've got marked on our schedule that we like to play.
Coach, gentlemen, we are excited. You got the whole community, your high school excited, a lot to be excited for. Thank you for joining us today, and best of luck on the season.
I would like to say one thing. Thank y'all. Y'all do an amazing job with this. This is a phenomenal way to promote our kids in our county, and I appreciate you guys putting this on for them. These kids, this will be a memory they'll have for a lifetime, and I just appreciate what y'all do for us.
We are happy to do it. Thank you, guys. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
We are going to All right, welcome back to WJLX Sports 1015 Walker County Football Media Days. We had an electric start talking to the Oakman Wildcats and about to interview the Cordova Blue Devils. We're here at Los Reyes in Jasper. Come join us, grab a taco, quesadilla, eat with us, hang out with us. We're here for most of the day today. I'm Nick Norris, and with me, Brian Hell, James Phillips, and next up, Cordova. But let's talk a little bit about Oakman first. I know Coach has to be real proud of his players there. So professional and seemed like true leaders.
Absolutely. And, you know, the two things that I took away from that entire segment there, number one, the foundation set forth by Ryan Hall is just going to continue with Coach Panner of developing athletes that are also leaders. That's going to be first and foremost. Secondly, they have got some good established leaders, 6 seniors that are going to form the foundation of that team going forward.
Well, and, you know, usually we kick off media day with the new coach. He is the new coach, but he's really not the.
Secondly, they have got some good established leaders, 6 seniors that are going to form the foundation of that team going forward.
Usually we kick. He's really not for a long team. He's moving forward, and it looks like, I mean, just from looking at those two guys, they've put on a lot of muscle since last season. I joked with Tyler that I hope he's still as fast as he was because he's put on a good 20 pounds. But, you know, I think they're going to be ready to hit some people when the first game gets here.
Oh, they look great, and I enjoyed hearing them talk about their new weight program and now basing it more off percentages and instead of just going for those numbers. You know, percentages are so important when it comes to weightlifting, and you can tell it already just by looking at them. Those kids are looking big and strong. So
yeah, he's ripped.
Yeah. But coming up, Cordova, their first game, like we had just talked to, is against Oakman, which is exciting. Great start to the season. They're on August 21st. Excited to talk to them about that game, but let's talk about it ourselves a little bit. What can you expect from that Cordova-Oakman matchup?
Well, both of them are going to want to establish the season off the correct way, which is with a W. That's why it's always going to bring out the best in you. First game, you're going to give it your all. That being said, it's going to be sloppy.
That's right.
Coaches are not going to be happy with this at all. And these are two teams that, you know, they were sub-500 teams last year. They want to prove that they're going to be better than what they left themselves as last year.
Absolutely. And that first game, it doesn't matter who you are, it's sloppy. That's just how it goes. But it's going to be interesting to see after those first 5 or 6 plays out of the way, when all that hype is done, out of the way, and now you're just focused, who's going to be more locked in there.
Well, the thing about that Cordova-Oakman rivalry over the years is that a lot of times it's the team that's the underdog that ends up winning that game. Like it's really unpredictable, and to have it as the first game of the season, that makes it even more unpredictable. You don't know who the underdog is coming in. Both teams are hungry. Both teams want that first win, and that's a perfect time to pick up a win and start the season off, and you're beating a team that you really just do not like.
It's always so fun to start the year with a rivalry game. I mean, the first game of the season is always so there's so much excitement. Everybody's been waiting nearly a year for the first game anyway, but when you get to start out against a rival, both schools there, the crowd is electric. You feel that fall weather for the first time, sort of. Not a whole lot in the late August, but
it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. I don't think there's going to be any fall weather.
No, it won't.
But you know, the thing the kids said, one of the kids said just a second ago, is that we've played this team for years, and he doesn't mean we've played this team for my 4 years of high school. He's talking about Oakman and Cordova kids have played against each other for years. Since they started playing football at 5, 6 years old, they've played against each other. So that's what makes this game special.
And let's talk about the community in between the two of them, the parish identity. Guys, that's still very, very, very deep in this rivalry.
That's true, too. Yeah.
And so that game is going to be played at Cordova. There in the pit there, as always. And every time I ever played there, it always felt hot. It didn't matter what time of the year it was. I don't know if that's just the sun is magnified there on that little plane in the pit there. But
Well, it's the home of the Devils,
I guess that's true.
so it has to be hot.
That's very true.
I'm telling you, that is one of the most unique atmospheres that you will ever be in. I enjoy covering games out there. It's a fun broadcast.
Atmosphere of high school football is just so different too. I mean, you get there and you start smelling the hot dogs and hamburgers from the parking lot, and you get through your little ticket line and you see your friend from high school you ain't seen in 20 years or whatever, and catching up with their kid. It's just so different, even compared to any other level of football. Such a hometown vibe, especially when we're going to have two closely located team rivals.
Yeah, I expect a lot of people are going to be patronizing Sherry and going to Mojo's.
Well, all right. Well, we are going to take a break, throw it back to the studio for just a moment, and when we come back, we will introduce the Cordova Blue Devils right here on WJLX 101.5.
They're both seniors. Nick plays wide receiver and our strong safety, and Dylan plays defensive end and center.
Well, guys, we are excited to have you here at Los Reyes today. We're about to open it up to our panel for some questions in just a second.
Coach, you got a great year to be able to start things off. You've got 1 year under your belt here at Cordova. Tell us about your staff that you got coming with you this year.
Well, I was able to hire two new guys. One is Heath Childers. I've known him for 25 years. He'll be our offensive coordinator and O-line coach. And Austin Mansell, he came in. He's been there before, and this will be his first year, but it's not his first year at Cordova. He's been there before, like I said. He'll be coaching the defensive ends and a co-defensive coordinator. Then, of course, we have Tim Simon, co-defensive coordinator, and Coach Bowles, Jason Bowles, and that'd be basically our varsity staff. So we got two new guys that bring us some experience, and we're proud to have the staff that we have.
All right, and for the players, you got a big game to kick things off with. We already heard from the other side. Tell us what you guys think about the big game kicking things off for the year against Oakman.
We've been preparing for it all summer. Put them last year, so we kind of have a little way of how we're doing things, and maybe after the first play, we'll get the jitters out, and maybe we'll catch some fire on this.
I think we'll do a lot better than last year. We're a little inexperienced, had a lot of young people, and now we finally got some experience, and so I think we'll do a lot better.
Guys, what does it mean to have that season opener at home versus on the road to open it up with? They're down in the pit. They're having to deal with that atmosphere.
It's nice to have. It lets us set the tempo and how we want it to be. It kind of gives us a nice advantage to the game.
It's a big confidence booster. You got a bunch of people that support you. You're not just going far away, or not that far away, but you're here, you feel a little bit more comfortable by yourself, and it helps you play a little better.
Well, Coach, obviously you brought two of these leaders here. Let's talk about some of the other positional leaders that you guys can count on.
Well, we're trying to look at everybody as has a role on our football team. We got
Helps you play a little better.
Well, Coach,
has a role on our football team. We've got he's coming back. He's started Jack Kilgore. He's coming back to starter at tight end, that's and Avery Goddard. He played a lot last year. Got hurt a little bit, but he was able to start some. So we have several of the offensive line guys coming back. We'll have a new position, or a new starter at quarterback in Liam Robbins, and then we have Nick. Of course, he played at wide receivers, and Lucas Vance, and they're both seniors, and we got Chesley Harbison coming back at the one of the running backs, and also Hyden Lightbetter and Jace Kaiser. They're coming back and they all got it. They all had experience last year at the running back position as far as offense. And defensively, Dylan started just about every game at defensive end, and Nick, he had a lot of experience at safety. Probably got over half the reps, and then we had Carter Hendricks. He played some last year. He's coming back. He's at an outside linebacker, and then Liam and Robbins and Chesley Harbison's at our rover position. So they're coming back starting. Of course, we had Tyden and Jace. Tyden Ledbetter and Jace Kaiser at the linebacker. So got several people coming back as far as both sides of the football. And we were really young last year. Had a lot of sophomores and freshmen playing. So we've got a little bit more experience. They're still young, but they got a year under their belt, and so hopefully they'll grow some.
Coach, I'm sure last year you got a lot of hospitality coming back to Cordova. Talk about last year and how the foundation that you built, and then how this team needs to respond to that.
Well, when I got there, there was a lot of work to be done, especially in the weight room and some things like that. And our kids worked tremendously in the weight room. The community support has been outstanding, and you can't have a program without that. And but as far as our kids working hard and the community working hard to support our program and all our programs, it's been great, phenomenal.
Guys, what's the morale of the team starting out this season? I'd like to just hear from the players. How do you guys feel coming into this season? I mean, you look up and down your schedule. It's going to be a tough schedule, but what do you guys feel coming into it?
I think we're real excited to get started with it. We've got in a lot of work over the off season, and we're ready to hit the ground running.
I think we've had a lot of chemistry throughout the summer, and I think we're gonna put it together and start off the season. If we get a little hot, it'd be pretty nice.
How has the conditioning been during the off season, Coach? Have you had a lot of positive motivation from your players?
Oh yeah, our kids come to work every day. They work extremely hard in the weight room, and that's where we're going to build our football program on that part, on that side of the, in the weight room. That's where it starts. Start by getting those calluses on your hands and slinging that iron. So that's what we're about. You can see the improvement in the numbers that they've worked, and they're going to continue to work. We don't slow down in the weight room. Because I think that's the foundation, and you got to carry that over to the field with your techniques and your fundamentals, and I think they can see a difference way that they're able to do things on the field by what we've done in the weight room and as far as some of our speed and agility work, and we'll continue on to do that. We strive every day to make sure that we get a little bit better, and they pushed each other as far as when we're there. We have some competition, and that's what it's about, pushing each other and making it fun, but also having that attitude, and that's what it's about, pushing each other and having next to you, but also pushing yourself.
Guys, Coach talked about the importance of leading and competition and pushing each other, and I was just wondering, how are some ways that you feel like you've developed as a leader, and are there any former players, older guys that maybe you looked up to that helped you kind of get into that role?
I've had a couple role models as I went through my high school, but I think the most important thing is talking to them and having the chemistry enough to they respect you. I think that's really important.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of great seniors come through and great leaders. So just when you come in there young, you be able to talk to them and learn as much as you can from them. It always helps out a lot. So, when you get older, you just kind of strive to be like that. Just be able to teach the younger guys.
Absolutely. And what are some ways that you've seen maybe this offseason compared to others, maybe a little different, maybe something that you see going in the right direction that gives you a lot of confidence going into the season? Whether it be the weight room or on the field, what could that be?
I think when we started getting the weight room this summer, I think we've had a little bit more fun, actually having fun, and it's helping people love the game, helping them do better because they actually like it.
Yeah, everybody's just been real excited to get stuff done, and we've built a lot of chemistry over the off season.
And guys, going into this game, you both have played in this for a while now, and are there any players on the other side that maybe you have a personal relationship with, that maybe you got some competition you want to go against, or somebody that maybe gave you some trouble last time that you're looking forward to playing?
When we was younger, we had a couple kids transfer. Be really good for us. I think it's going to be fun. Seniors.
There's always some players on the other side of the ball that you just like playing against, so it's just about getting at them.
And Coach, what about for you? Is there anybody that you remember or any kind of key matchups that you can think back on that you're excited this year to take on?
I'll just take them one at a time. Every game's going to be tough, and you can't look ahead. That's my approach to it. It's friendly competition, and you want to get after it, and you want to find a way to to improve and to make sure that you're giving your best effort for your team. You know, I want to give my best effort to help these guys to be successful. That's and not only on the football field, but in life. You know, I want to give them some things that will carry over when life gets tough. They can maybe look back and say, hey, those practices in the hole were pretty tough. I think I can get through this.
Excellent answer. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today here at Los Reyes. We appreciate it, and we wish you all the best of luck on the season.
I just want to say thank you to y'all. Y'all do a great job, and appreciate everything y'all do. Thanks.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Best of luck this year.
Yes, sir.
We will be right back. We're going to throw it back to the studio. We'll come back for the next segment. All right, and welcome back to Walker County Media Day here on WJLX Sports 101.5. We just talked to the Cordova Blue Devils. Up next, we've got the Dora Bulldogs. But let's talk a little bit about Cordova first. I was really impressed with their players, their answers. Two just really standout guys, it seems like, very mature, and seems like they would be great leaders on their team.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, if those of us who have covered Walker County sports and Cordova for so many years know Cordova's like a sleeping giant. You're just waiting for that talent to be unlocked. They have so much legacy for a reason, and you just kind of wait for it. I think these are the guys that's going to step up and take charge of that.
Well, you know, Coach Maynard's such an old school type coach. He was there 20-something years ago, won a state championship. Now he's back. Everybody's really excited about that. You know, the first season didn't go exactly as you would want it to, but you can tell that there was a lot of growth there. And as you guys said, just hearing these guys, the way they spoke, there seems to be more of a confidence around the program and with the players this year. And, you know, it's another year also in 4A where they've stepped up. And that schedule to begin with, the first few years that they were playing in 4A, that's really tough to take that step up. This year, they don't have to travel very far. They're playing a lot of teams that they know a lot about. I think this could be a sleeper this year, and this Cordova team could be a playoff team.
Yeah, well, we can run through their schedule really quick. We had talked pretty extensively about their opener against Oakman at home, which is just so exciting. I can't wait to see that. But after that, they are on the road to Northside the following
that's
week.
Tough.
Yeah,
The Rams are a definite challenger.
especially tough games that early in the season, always difficult. But it'll be difficult for Northside too. I mean, it's the early season for everybody. Following that, they are back home on September 5th against Hamilton.
That's the key. Right there. Anybody who knows you do not want to play Hamilton at Hamilton.
They have them at home this year. In the following week, they have on the 12th Curry at home.
And that's going to be pivotal. Both big teams are going to want to come into that game. They've got a lot to prove.
Yeah, I think both those teams, that's where both are going to be saying we need a win, and it's going to be an important win because that's also a region game.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we got the if you get our Walker County schedule here that you can pick up here at Los Reyes or from the station that we have made, and thank you to our sponsors on that. We actually have our region games and our homecoming games marked there, which is awesome. You don't see this on a lot of schedules, so I appreciate y'all going the extra mile with that. The next week, they are on the road at Good Hope.
That is a team that has really started showing out the past couple of years. You look at them; they're averaging, 8 wins. I mean, they're making strides in Good Hope. That's a tough challenge.
Yeah, and region game.
Yeah, and Good Hope's one of those teams that they score a lot of points. When they're good, it's because their offense is good. They move the ball up and down the field. That should be a fun game to watch for sure.
Absolutely. After that, another region game on the road with Fayette County.
Always tough. I don't care what classification they're in this year. Fayette County's tough.
And the week after that, another region game, this time at home against Dora.
And, I mean, that's a game that typically that has been the game that starts the season, Dora and Cordova.
Right.
It's a huge rivalry. It's actually the longest running rivalry in Walker County.
Really?
And it's been such a close rivalry and heated and hated. There have been people murdered over that game.
Oh, my God.
That has been the game that starts the season, Dora and Cordova.
Right.
That's a huge and it's and hated. I'm completely. So that will be a lot of fun.
To that point, though, James, you're correct. We used to have that so much at the beginning of the year, but now since both teams are sharing the same classifications, for about the past 5 or 6 years, they've done it in mid-season.
Well, and a little bit of the history of that game, it was really it got so heated back in the day of the mines, and miners would come out all covered in soot, like to the games, and they would be fighting each other at the games. I mean, it really did. And we wrote a story. I wrote a story years ago about it was a little place in Union Chapel where the two sides had come together, and there was seriously a killing.
Oh my God!
Between the two sides, so that's how much they don't like each other, and they call each other river rats and that sort of thing. And so it's a lot of fun, and they'll be ready to play.
Absolutely,
it'll be a fun game to watch.
After that, another region game at home. This time against Fultondale. That's on the 17th of October. And after that, another region game, the 7th in a row, away at Haleyville for October 24th.
That Cordova-Haleyville matchup is probably going to have some playoff implications on the line for one of these two teams, and I imagine it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, I think so. That could be a really important game there at the end of the season, depending on how things go. And we heard Oakman's coach earlier talk about the difference in one injury or the difference in one or two plays can really play an impact on how your season is, especially once you get to that point. But if these teams get the right breaks, Cordova and Haleyville is a game that really could be for a playoff berth.
Absolutely. And then to cap off the season there on Halloween weekend, October 30th, on the road, Cordova will go to George Washington Carver to wrap up the season. So Exciting things for the Blue Devils coming up this season. Up next, we're going to be talking about the Dora Bulldogs. Their first game is at home against Minor. We'll get more into their schedule when we come back after talking to them and to Coach Chavis Williams and his players that he brought along with him. But exciting things happening at Dora as well. This is Chavis's, Coach Williams' third year?
Yeah, actually, this is his fifth at
Oh, my
Dora.
gosh.
He is actually the dean of Walker County football right now as far as tenure goes.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the longest reigning coach and only at 5 years.
And that's crazy, guys. Don't you remember when we get here 18, 19 years,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
5 years is the longest?
Well, the high school coaching game has gone the way of professionals and colleges. I mean, if you don't win, they don't keep you very long.
That's exactly right.
And so it's a very competitive atmosphere, and all these teams this year really need to take that next step forward. So we keep these coaches around for a while.
Absolutely.
And I like all of our Walker County coaches. They're great to work with. I do want to tell everybody, hey, we are at Los Reyes. Get down here. We're happy to see you today. Come and talk to us. We're going to have some breaks in between because our schedule's a little wonky sometimes. Like we'll run slow and fast, but come out, get you some food and meet up with these coaches and players and meet up with us. Let us know what we might know a little bit about and what you think we don't know anything about.
Please, and come grab one of our schedules here too. These are sharp, man, for real. I'm going to take home with me, put it on my fridge. Probably take 2, put one in my classroom as well.
There you go.
But yeah, come by, see us, grab some food, and hang out with us. We got some time, and I'm sure the players and coaches would love the support as well.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful time not only for all of us, for them, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to take a break, throw it back to the station, and when we come back, we will introduce the Dora Bulldogs right here on WJLX 101.5 Walker County Media Days at Los Reyes. Welcome back to Walker County Media Day here at WJLX 101.5 at Los Reyes Live. We are about to welcome our Dora Bulldogs, starting with head coach Chavis Williams. Coach, will you introduce your players for us?
Yes, to my left is Cleveland Jones, play wide receiver, defensive back. He's a senior. And to the far left is Caden Boshell. He's a junior, play offensive line, defensive line.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you guys for being here. We're now going to open it up to our panel for questions.
All right, so players, this question's for you. You know, looking at your schedule, you guys have got a lot of games where you're playing other people in the county, and you also got the big game against Jasper. Does that get you like hyped up because you know there that you're going to have a lot of home crowd there to be able to kind of support you guys? What's your feelings about that?
You got it first. Will you repeat that last part?
What's your feelings about having a bunch of home games against county rivals this year?
It gets us hyped. You know, as a team, we prepare for the best. We go for the best competition around. I think that we are prepared to face whatever it is and just face everything.
Yeah, and you know, I really think, you know, the crowd's going to really help us there, and you know, we're ready to see anybody really. You know, the team's really prepared. You know, we've been really locked in this summer, focused. You know, we're ready to take on our tough our schedule this year. So,
okay, Coach. Like they said, you're the dean here of Walker County. You've been here a while. Tell us about your staff, because behind every good coach, they have a good staff behind them. So can you tell us who's going to be coaching with you this year?
Yes, and the question you just asked them, you can tell that they're programmed in, because all those games are actually on the road. We go to Jasper, to Cordova, to Curry. But, you know, it's just been a blessing to be back home. But and you're right, surrounded by good people. And, you know, it was 5 years, and – you know, every day no day we take for granted, but we have actually been able to complete our staff completely this year with a lot of quality guys who take a load off of me, and I just let them coach. You know, you hire somebody to do a job, you trust them to do it. But start with our offensive coordinator, McClendon Jones. He's been great for us. We sat down last year, going before last year, wondering what we were going to do, and the offense. So philosophy that he came up with fits our personnel, and the kids love him. I wish I can pay him $1 million, but the kids love him, and he does a great job. You know, on the offensive side of the ball, we'll stick there. Michael Barrett coaches receivers, and he does a great job. Justin Blevins, he's kind of utility guy. Justin Blevins, he's kind of utility guy. With line. The ball. You know, the guy, Alex Atkins, great player, had him at Carbon Hill. Knew he was going to get into coaching, and I told him early on, as soon as he got done, I was going to make him tell me no. And he's our strength and conditioning coordinator as well. Great mind, does a great job, has really came in and built a relationship with these guys, and they'll tell you that, you know, that he has their back. Defensive line, Eric Talbert. He actually coached me in high school. And secondary was able to hire Branson Davis. Another guy with a bright mind, was actually a defensive coordinator at Southside Gaston last year. So looking forward, he's been here about 2 weeks now, going on 2 weeks, looking forward to a new idea that he's going to bring before we get this thing polished up to start the year out. Going to lean heavy on him in the special teams department too. And, of course, the loyal volunteers that we have had that have kept us afloat over the years, the Nate Corleys of the world, the Austin Ivies. You know, I'm sitting up here telling you about the coaches that we got for this year, and still can't help but to mention the two guys that, you know, they're forever going to be endure history as far as giving back, and that's Bart Maddox, the late Bart Maddox, and Greg Tank Cameron, who we lost earlier this year. And we're going to dedicate the season to those guys, and every year moving forward. But great staff, excited about it, excited about the opportunity to get to work with these young men, and you know, these guys they have done a really good job this summer of working hard.
So, Coach, the foundation was laid with that new school that's going to be coming up, and it's literally there's a brand new era of coming all around. It's a time your football team's going to be laying a foundation for its future and its present with this team. What's this transition like time for you? It's got to be big for all of you guys with a new school and a new season coming up.
Yes, sir. That's exciting because these kids, the community deserve it, and hats off to our principal Paige Abner, our board member Leanne Hedrick, and superintendent Dr. Dennis Willingham, along with the other board members that voted this in. And being a Dora alum, I just think it's just something that the community deserves, and hopefully with that building, comes the pride in the community of having something nice, and the sports, of course, that's what the business we're in, to represent the community in a positive way and put good product on the field and on the courts. And it's a lot of buzz going around Dora right now because of that new building, but I remind these guys all the time, football field still the same width, the same length, so we got to take care of our business inside of that. But we're very proud of the things that's going on in East Walker County.
And the second question is with Alice Atkins handling the defensive duties, how hard is Dora going to be hitting this year?
We're going to be aggressive and we're going to come and attack.
No, we're just going to hit.
Go Dogs. I have to always say go Dogs since I'm a Dora graduate too. And I'm so proud of what you guys do each year, and proud of Chavis and the job that he's done. Chavis, every year it seems like we talk about the team's different. And, I guess it's at the classification you guys are at and the size you're at, everything changes so fast. What's the difference of this team this year? Like, what could make them special?
The togetherness, first of all, it's a close group. I rag them all the time. I mean, it's a running joke at the beginning of the summer. Kind of got on to them about, connecting, the big word, connecting with each class. And our junior class, which Caden's involved in, is our biggest class. And they're probably the closest as far as a class in the whole. But, just looking around, especially the last month, at how these guys are interacting, and you hear them have side conversations about how they hung out over the weekend. Those things go a long way of breaking those barriers down. And, with this team, like Tuesday, we took them over to Parker High School, which, if anybody know me, we're gonna play competition, whether it's 7-on-7, whether it's OTAs, whether it's a regular season game, because I believe iron sharpens iron. And for these guys to, and I'm a big believer in getting guys out of our culture, going to see different cultures. That way, on down the road, for instance, last year we played minor early on, and I know people probably question that, but I think that prepared us to beat Fulton. That way, on down the road, minor beat Fulton there, which is ahead of our first time seeing those type of players as far as the athletic ability. But what's, I think, unique about this team is the closeness of it, and also, we had a lot of young kids last year, so all the experience, whether we got the heck beat out of us or we won close games, that can't do nothing but help you moving forward. So I think this year there's a ton of experience coming back, so I think it has a lot of potential. We just have to do what we have to do every day to reach that.
Talk about your schedule a little bit. Just looking over it, for a coach and administrators, it's got to be a positive thing to look at that schedule and think, we don't have to go very far at all for any games this year. But I know it's going to be competitive, but what is it like being able to kind of stick around? And also, you guys can mention, just all the different. You got a lot of county rivalries, and then even the region games are really close. It's teams that you guys know. So just talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Anytime you can stay close to home, I think it's good, especially in the county. Football traditionally has been big here, and for people to be able to, they may have coworkers that they work with on a daily basis that they can kind of talk smack to after the game about, the rivalries that exist. So I expect us to have big crowds on the road, which anybody knows football, these kids feed off the support that they do have, and I think being close to home helps with that. And, all the games we try to treat them the same, which we know that that's not very true. Some are bigger than others, because of the familiarity between the two communities.
Now, guys, I know it's been hot lately, and whenever y'all come to the building, you come in there to work. But how has Coach Williams made this summer fun for y'all as well?
It's been fun in the heat. It's been well over hot. But being able to come out with the guys in the game, no matter if it's just practice or not, you still growing a bond over the football, over the green grass and the lines. It's been fun getting to know everybody on a deeper level. You know, you got younger kids coming up from the middle school, and you even got kids coming in from different other schools trying to come in and be a part of the Dogs. And it's just great to know each other. It's great to get better. It's great to sharpen each other's abilities and really just become a team.
You know, I feel like everybody's done a pretty good job keeping the energy up. You know, really everybody's staying focused, seeing on what we got later on when the season starts. But, you know, everything starts now, and I feel like we're doing a pretty good job, you know, going ahead establishing, you know, what we're going to be looking for later on in the season.
Absolutely. I know Coach is just as stresses just as much being a good man off the field as on the field. What are some things that you have learned from Coach in your time with him, the program?
Can you repeat that one more time?
I said I know that you definitely push being a good man off the field just as much as being a good player on the field. What are some things that they have learned from you as far as growing into becoming a man?
I think more of it is, you know, work ethic. And I'm not perfect. No man is perfect, but I try to be straight up with them and, you know, let them make mistakes and learn from them. So, you know, growth is a big thing in life, and just to see how they come in as a little puny ninth grader and leave as a and immature and leave as kind of what knowing what direction they want to head after they graduate high school. I think it's bigger than anything. Of course, you know, you want to see all your kids reach their athletic potential, but we all know it comes to an end for most after they take that last snap of their senior year, or even before because of injuries that has happened over the years. But just seeing them being the best version of themselves they can become.
Who's developed at running back, Coach, that we really need to be watching for, because you really lost a great one. But I know the progression with you guys is next man up. Who are we going to see?
I hate doing this because I leave somebody out, but somebody stick out. Ashton Davis, you know, Jacoby Foster, Grayson Stevenson. You can ask these guys but you know, those three that stick out. Evan Chanel is a utility player that's probably going to move around a little bit this year. Jacoby Foster, Grayson Stevenson. That stick out. Aiden. That's quite a few. We got other people on the team that, you know, are ready for the next step up, like this young man beside me as well that's waiting for their opportunity to do their role on the team and may have bigger roles than others. But we got a slew of younger guys, and to be honest with you, I don't know the direct answer to that question yet, who's going to step up. Somebody will, but, you know, there's still work to be done.
Well, guys, you've given us and the community all a lot to be excited about. We can't wait to see the season, and we thank you guys for coming out and joining us here at Los Reyes today.
Hey, thank you for putting this on. Look forward to this every year. It's always closer to football season. Thanks for the notoriety that you give these young men and these communities, I'm sure, are happy of.
Great day, and good luck on the season this year. All right, we are going to throw it back to the studio now for just a few minutes, and we'll be back in just a moment to introduce our next team. Welcome back to Walker County Media Day with WJLX 1015 here at Los Reyes. Come by, hang out with us, grab a taco, burrito, quesadilla, and spend some time with us here in the teams we're going to see. We just spoke with the Dora Bulldogs. Next up, we'll be talking to Carbon Hill. Let's talk a little bit about Dora, though. It was great to hear from Coach Williams and his players you brought along, and I'm excited for their season opener against Minor here on the 22nd.
Yeah, being a team that's only a few miles down the road, Dora and Minor, that's going to be a neat way to start off the season. They've played each other the last few years, really competitive games. You heard Chavis say that a lot of people are like, why do you want to play Minor so early in the season? But it gets them ready for the bigger games in the region later in the season. And it shows them a lot. Minor always has a lot of good athletes. So it's a lot of fun to see that type of game early. I like the fact that Chavis wants to play teams who are good. Like they've started off the last few years with Aniana and teams like that. You don't get better unless you play teams that are good. Like, you can play a cupcake if you want to, but that's not really showing you anything.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, right now, they've got a proving ground. Dora does in their region. We already know that Cordova's out there, but we talked about these teams earlier. There's not a cakewalk anywhere.
Cake if you want to, but that's not really showing you anything.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, right now, they're earlier. Any earns where
bit while we are waiting to talk to Carbon Hill. So we talked about starting out August 22nd, home against Minor. The next week, hosting Corner on the 29th.
That's nearby rivals. There you go. Once
absolutely.
again.
That's even closer than Minor. It's like instead of 7 or 8 miles, that's like 4 miles.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
That's actually got a rivalry also. I think
It's
the green top.
It's called the County Line Clash.
Yep,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's right. County Line Clash Week 2. Week 3 on September 5th. Region game, first of the year at home against Fayette County.
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
Yeah, and I think with this region, as we talk about it, the reason that each of these games is so important, I think all these teams are going to be very similar. And there's probably 6-7 teams that could end up being playoff teams. It's just who beats who, because they're going to be so competitive and so close to each other.
Absolutely. Well, we open up with 3 home games, and then they're followed up with 3 away games. 2 region, Hamilton and Fultondale.
Playing at Hamilton, you already have a tough one.
Yeah.
That crowd and that atmosphere is something different.
And sometimes the referees are a little difficult up in Hamilton too. We've seen over the years, and all the Walker County schools will attest to that. Mm-hmm. But Fultondale is a team that's really on the rise too. They've got a lot of athletes. They're a good program, and so that's going to be a good game too.
And then after that 3-game stretch of region games, Dora will travel right down the road to Jasper, play them on the 26th of September.
There is going to be really a lot on the line for both of these teams, regardless of the fact that they're not the same classification. I can tell you this much right now. Both of those teams are going to be wanting motivation for the second half of the season, and what better way than in a rivalry victory?
And it's just always good to see Dora and Jasper play each other. For several years, they'd kind of dropped that game. Anytime that they can play in any sport, it's good. But it's great when they can play in football.
Absolutely. After that, we get a quick break back home. Region game, Haleyville on October 3rd, followed by the rest of the season as all region games. On the road at Cordova, on the road at Curry, and finish up the year at home with Good Hope. Any of those games stick out to you?
Well, of course, obviously, we've been talking about Dora Cordova. Just heard the Dora side of it. This is a region game just intensifies this rivalry even further. Non-region games, they mean so much, but on top of that, a playoff spot could be at hand.
That's right.
The game you really better circle is that Good Hope game.
Yeah.
That game could be for not only a playoff spot, but very well could be for a region championship.
And I assume since that's the final home game, that will be senior night. We don't have here, I guess they haven't decided yet what their homecoming game is going to be. But finishing off the year, region game at home after a 4-game region stretch. And not a whole lot of easy games on that schedule. So tough. Finishing off the year, region game at home after a schedule. So tough schedule for games.
Yeah, new day for it. Completely as a community, as a school, and now, hey, new year of football.
Absolutely.
And I'm always happy to cover Dora, not just because I'm a Dora graduate, but one of our sponsors on our calendar, Green Top, right there in Dora. And
That's
I grew up eating it, and I will eat Green Top as much as I can.
Oh, Green Top's fantastic. I went once, and the power went out while I was there, and they still just found a way to get us food. They're like, well, half our menu's gone, but we're going to serve you anyway. We're not going to stop. Awesome. Just great service all the time at Green Top. And like we said, we have these schedules here. Feel free to come by Los Reyes, hang out with us, pick one up, or at our station there in Jasper. Has all of our local schools here, as well as their full schedule, their home, away, region games, and homecoming games. Really well put together graphic, and appreciate all of our advertisers on this as well. All right, well, we are going to go to another quick break. When we come back, we are going to introduce the Carbon Hill Bulldogs right here, Walker County Media Day, WJLX 101.5. Welcome back to Walker County Media Day here on WJLX 101.5, live from Los Reyes. We are happy to introduce our Carbon Hill Bulldogs, starting out with Coach DJ Emerson. Coach, can you introduce your players you brought with us today?
I have a senior quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back Marcus Pierce, senior offense and defensive lineman Jordan Kilgore. Solid leaders for our team. We got several of guys in the back. We have 13 seniors on this year's team, and really excited about their leadership. It was any year where it's hard to narrow it down to 2 guys or even 6 or 7 to come here, where I felt bad about leaving a couple guys off. You got some pretty decent leadership, so I'm excited about this group, and especially these 2 up here and the leadership they've had the whole time that I've been here. I think everybody that's come today, they've been a part of the team ever since I've been to Carbon Hill and just bought in and just excited to honor them and to broadcast them to our community and what great young men they are.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us here today at Los Reyes. We are now going to open it up to our panel for some questions.
Coach, it's good to see you've got a good relationship with you that I've had for over the years, and I really respect and how you coach and how you build your team and how you turn boys into men. Tell us about the staff that you have that's behind you, because behind every good for over the years, and I really respect and how you coach and how you build your team and how you turn boys into men. Tell us about every good coach. They have a good
Can't Coach Jarrett Tuggle, he's been with me the whole way. I actually coached him at Jasper when I was there. He's our defense coordinator, assistant head coach. Anything, that I need, he's my right-hand guy, and, building the fire with him. I told him when, early on hiring him, I said, I'm going to ask you to do a lot of things. I'm going to demand a lot out of you. I'm probably going to hold you to a higher standard than maybe some other coaches because I just need it, and I know you can do it, and I got to have it. But talked a lot about him, but the entire staff. I got Coach Brandon Phillips here. He coaches our running backs. He does a lot, keeping our stats on Friday nights, letting us know tendencies and stuff like that. Coach Joey Lee helps with our offensive line. He's going to help me with linebackers this year. Jamie Lawler is going to be our offensive line and defensive line coach. I mainly call the offense. And what I'm excited for, we actually have a middle school staff this year. We've all kind of did it by community. That's going to be headed up by Coach Jason Tittle. Is going to be the head coach. Just hired his son, Clay Tittle, who was a phenomenal player at Carbon Hill and has been doing some time with West Alabama. That's where he graduated with and was a part of the football team there. So just adding his knowledge and his young attitude and his young ideas is going to be valuable for our staff for years to come. And then I got a volunteer, Larry Kilgore. Larry's been with the Toy Bowl group, and just bringing him in has really brought that young group together. But excited about growing our staff. Each year we're trying to get better and add. I don't think we have the number of coaches that we need that I'm accustomed to. I'm the offense coordinator. I coach quarterbacks. I'm going to end up coaching linebackers this year. So,